Here at Akaroa at Banks Peninsula, or what's the other name? It doesn't matter. Devon van Til joins me. Firstly, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk to you.
Well, there's a bit going on with you. I know that with the Cadets and a few other things beforehand. Firstly, this place, just an amazing place to come and visit and see races. And like now that the sun's come right out, it's a beautiful little picturesque place, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. On a nice day, they can get some really good crowds here, a great family day. And it's probably a pretty good place for me because I had my first driving one here. So I have a bit of luck here so far.
Right, and I said there before about Cadets, and I found out a bit more about Cadets with Nat the other day that I suppose to become a driver, it's a little bit different to Australia, but to become a driver, you have to become a cadet first and then make your way through. And I think it's about the third year before you can start driving.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of paperwork to cadets, which we don't always enjoy, but a lot of the practical side of things is really good, and it kind of gives you a sound education before you go out there and get your trials license and then on to your juniors.
So I'm going to be very careful. You because you're not as old as me, so I can get away with it, but you're an older aged cadet, that's fair to say?
Yeah, I'd be the oldest junior driver around. I started off in equestrian, so I changed to harness racing quite late in my years, and I think I was 28 when I got my juniors. So yeah, I'm a little bit older than the younger kids, but it's quite good. I still get along with them all.
So doing my maths, you're 31 now?
Just about to turn 31, yeah.
Yeah, because you're 3 years and then you're out. And you're one of the graduates for the cadet. I think you have a bit of fun Wednesday week or Wednesday anyway coming up. There's a bit of it's fun and serious. Is that how it works?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, my last year in cadets was last year, and because of COVID, we didn't get to have Cadet of the Year. I won the Canterbury region, and I was really excited to be able to do the New Zealand one, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But yeah, the boys are all going to give it a go this week, and yeah, it's a lot of fun as well as a lot of serious things, and it's quite a prestigious title to come away with.
It is. Doesn't get announced until March next year. Nat gets to sit on it and don't tell anyone about it.
Yeah, no, it must be hard for the drivers themselves to sit on it, and if they think they've done well. But it's a really, really cool initiative that they do for the cadets.
Right. So you're from an equestrian background. What drew you to harness racing?
I managed an equestrian centre for Catherine and Davey Butt, so I was there for about 4 years, and I used to ride through the boys' stables all the time and got along with them, socialising and whatnot, and I just needed a change in my life at the time, and went completely left field and asked Johnny if he wanted a hand and started helping out, and then just carried on working and just worked my way through.
That's great. So there's always negativity, I suppose, about the industry and what it does, and it actually was what you were after. It was what you needed at that time.
Yeah, for sure. When I was in sport horses, we looked at standardbreds and went a bit, but once I actually started working with them, they're just the same as sport horses. There's some that really try, some that don't. Hot horses, cold horses. It's just training them from a different place, really. So I'm really enjoying it.
Do you still do the equestrian side of it?
Yeah, I still ride. I still have one horse going, and I hunt during the winter, which I have a lot of fun doing that when I can get out. But yeah, not as much as I'd like, but still ride down the beach and have a good time.
Does it help you, do you think? Do you find that it's helped you?
Oh, for sure. Like having that feel for the horse's mouth already before I even started driving has probably been the key thing for me and my success. And just knowing horses is, a really key part of why I do well and try to do well anyway.
On that, as far as a junior driver, how are you going? Because I do know the answer, because I had tea with some gentlemen last night, and they were actually giving you a very glowing appraisal. So obviously you drive very, very well. As far as the premierships and that go, how are you sitting?
I'm probably well down in the premiership. I've only had 14 wins, but I don't get out there as much as a lot of the top ones, so it's just really trying to get more opportunities to get on the track so that I can do well. But really loving it, and hoping to get that 15th win so I can drive at days like tomorrow, and then it'll be hopefully all go from there.
Yeah, I saw that. I might have teased you. I thought I saw your name in there, so hence the reason I did want to do an interview with you. Put my hand up, and I actually thought you were a guy when I saw Devon. Where does the name come from? Like Devon van Til, where's that originate?
My grandparents came out from Holland after the war and set up, and then they had 4 children, and my father was one of them, and so he's Kiwi born. But the Dutch passes through, and I've been over to Holland a couple of times and worked with horses and show jumping over there and really enjoyed it, but I'm pretty sure they don't have any trotters over there.
No, I don't think they do. No, you got me a little bit too. So I don't think in Holland they do. In the other two, Sweden and Norway they do. But I'm not sure. Yeah, they might. Doesn't matter. Who knows? Someone will tell us off. Someone won't. What are your goals? What are your aspirations? I mean, obviously driving at the minute. I suppose you want to drive as many winners as you can. But say 5-6 years, where can you see yourself being?
I'd love to see myself as a regular driver in 5 to 6 years, to be getting outside drives from other people. And obviously I've just started training, my first starter today, so obviously want to build on that, but not necessarily have a lot of horses at a time, but have success with the ones that I do have.
Some of the challenges, I can ask you that question. So you see the equestrian, some people see the equestrian and say, oh, how great it is. When you live it, it's not always that great. Or other times it's even better than what it looks like on the outside. Probably some of the challenges for the standardbreds in the harness racing industry.
Probably the fact that you've got to compete against others to get on a horse. In equestrian, you're often riding your own team of horses, whereas here you've got to compete, obviously, sometimes against the best in the country and talk someone into putting you on over them is probably the biggest challenge. But I don't find the driving as challenging, probably just tactical things that I have to learn more than actually driving the horse itself. But always learning, and I think if you ever think you've stopped learning, you're a fool, because you can't stop learning with horses. You
can't stop learning in life. That is one of the great things I got told. The day you stop learning is the day you stop achieving, and you want to continue to do that. It's actually pretty cool what you just said there, that you are, even when you get the drive and you secure the drive, you're still competing against everyone else, because if you muck up, you lose it.
Yeah, for sure. It's not like any other sport. I've played high-level netball and things like that, and if you make a mistake, you just work harder to get the ball back. But in harness racing, if you make a mistake, your chances are probably gone. So yeah, it's quite a high-pressure sport to be in, but also that's why I love it.
Well, so you answered my question. I was going to say, do you love it? And obviously you do. You like the thrill of that, I suppose, having to achieve every time.
Yeah, I'm a competitive person, so I love winning. When you win, it's a great feeling, and that's probably why you keep coming back. But I do love the challenge and love the horses mostly. I've loved them since I was 5 years old, and my parents probably would have liked me to have gone into other career paths, and and they didn't probably think this was a very you can't make a lot of money in horses, but at least you can in standardbreds compared to the sport horses. But I just keep coming back to horses, and so that's where I'm heading, and that's where I'll stay, I'd say.
Devon, thank you for joining me. You got to drive one in the next, I think. You've had a busy enough day. How did your first starter go? Very quickly.
Really stoked with the first starter. He ran second on debut. Yeah, had a nice trip, and he's still got a lot to learn. He kind of levelled up and wanted to switch off a little bit, but those things will come with time, and just stoked that I could get out there and do a good job for the great group of people that are supporting me with the horse.
How many you train?
Just the one.
And was that your first starter today, is it?
Yeah, first starter as a trainer, yeah.
Congratulations. Well done. You're achieving a lot, aren't you?
Oh, trying to, yeah.
Well done, and good luck, and hopefully you can get some more horses. Thank you very much for joining me. Good luck on Wednesday. Well done with everything else that you've been able to achieve so far, and thank you very much for joining me and coming on. You were very open to it, other than the fact that you had to keep driving. You've had a busy day drive-wise, but no, I really appreciate it, and well done, and thank you for joining Campbell's Comments.
Yeah, thank you for coming over here. We're really enjoying the extra publicity.